A lot of people have been asking for a guide on winter forage farming, and I thought, why not? I'll make a video on it since I use it in almost every stream I do. So welcome to the Winter Forage Guide 2023 edition. This video has a lot of information, so feel free to pause it or take notes if needed. First, let's explain what winter foraging is. The winter forage strategy consists of tilling and untilling spots to manipulate the winter forage pattern. The reason for this is when ConcernedApe was developing the game, since random patterns are really difficult to code, he ended up using a pattern to make it seem random, but it's actually not. Each forage spot is placed in a perfect pattern that moves with each till used. Initially discovered by Piano Addict, winter forage became a really efficient way to make money. Just how efficient is it? Well, since each snow yam sells for 100G and winter root sells for 70G, you can amount hundreds in hours and make thousands and thousands of G in one day. This is the main way of making money in the Vault Bundle speedrun, the Joja Route speedrun, and almost all marriage runs. The original winter forage pattern was identical to the clay farming pattern, just in the winter. If you haven't seen Joe TG's video on clay farming, I highly recommend checking that out first to get more information on how this strategy works. Recently though, some new discoveries were made. Piano found a more efficient pattern that in my opinion is way easier to remember. Let's start with the basics. The first thing you want to do is grab your trusty pickaxe and hoe and head down to the beach. This is the easiest location to winter forage in because almost every space is tillable. Although you can technically start wherever you want, I always start in the same location to make it easier to remember. I always start here. This is one space to the right of these three dots. From here, hoe the space and use the pickaxe to untill the spot until you get your first winter root or snow yam. Once you get your first winter root or snow yam, the pattern begins. You want to move up one tile and over 2 tiles to the right until that spot. For any chest lovers out there, this is the knight's move. Repeat this pattern until you have tilled 10 tiles total. This should put you just 1 tile left of the bridge. From here, I have a trick to help me know where to go when I run out of space. If I till 10 tiles in the line, I will start 1 tile up from the first tilled spot. And if I till 9 tiles in a line, then I will start 2 tiles left from the first tilled spot. Now that the basics are out of the way, let's look at some variables. There are a few places that are in the pattern but cannot be tilled, such as under Elliot's cabin. This is where spaces called replacement tiles come into play. Since the pattern moves not just in one location, but in tons of locations all over the map, we can find another tile in a close location that still produces winter forage. There are 6 really important replacement tiles. They're located here, 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 and here. And I will show you which rows use the replacement tiles. From the beginning of the pattern, we start by tilling 10 spaces. Once we reach the bridge, we go back to the beginning and we go up 1 tile. Then, we go 9 tiles, repeating the same pattern of up 1 and over 2 to the right. Because we went 9 tiles, and in our memory trick, 9 tiles means we need to go 2 to the left from the starting line in that row. Once we reach the top, because we went 10 tiles, we need to go up 1 from the original spot. Then we can go 10 tiles again. This is where the pattern can get a bit tricky. First, we go up as many tiles as we physically can go. The next tile we need to hoe is underneath this rock, which is definitely not reachable. This is where the replacement tiles come in. From here, we hoe in this spot, which is 2 down and 4 to the right from where the tile we need to hoe is. If done correctly, this space will also produce forage. From here, we can go back to the beginning of this row and go 2 tiles to the left. Once here, we go up as many tiles as we can go. And again, we run into the same situation, this time with Elliot's cabin. The next thing we do is go to the replacement tile we just used and go 2 to the left from that. This next row is a little bit tricky. Since there's only 7 reachable tiles in this row, we need 2 replacement tiles to make up for it. The first location is located 3 spaces under Elliot's door, directly in the middle of his path. The next space follows the night pattern and goes up 1 and right 2 from the space we just tilled. This is the second replacement tile. From here we can go back to the start. We repeat the pattern again until we get stuck. This next replacement tile is located 1 tile above the boat. Once we use this replacement tile, go back to the beginning. And we need our last replacement tile. This one is located 2 spots to the left of where we just towed, directly above the boat. This is as many replacement tiles as I use. From here we go back to beginning, go 2 spaces to the left, and then continue the pattern using the 9-2 pattern. Up 9, and then over 2 from the first space you hoed. The last thing I want to cover is 2 more variables. The first variable is if we mess up a tile. If you happen to mess up a tile, or miss a tile, depending on how far off track you've gone, there should be an easy solution to this. If you accidentally hoe a spot, just skip it and count it as if you tilled the correct spot. Now the other situation is a little bit different. Sometimes you'll hoe a spot and no forage will come out. When this happens, what we need to do is called a retill. We're going to start by pickaxing 2 of the spaces we just tilled. What we're going to do is retill those 2 tiles that we just untilled, and the pattern should be fixed. Of course, more developments are always being made to Stardew, but at the date of recording this is the most efficient way to winter forage farm. I hope you learned something from this video. A lot of people have been asking me to make a tutorial on this from seeing it through my streams, and I'm more than happy to make this video. Thank you to everyone in the Stardew community who has made improvements to runs. We truly have changed Stardew for the future. Well, that's enough rambling for me. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.